Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I'm not drinking on anything tonight. I'm just drinking on some high C orange tonight. Um, Hope everybody was having a great week, great weekend. No, I missed you last week, but here this week. Got some things to talk about. Um, whew, where can we start? Well, obviously, let's talk about the NFL. All right. So, um, obviously the NFL season, 4 games in. Some teams are doing better than others. I know some teams you don't expect them to get out to a really great start. The Colts being one of them. I'm sorry, the Colts being one of the teams that's getting out to a great start. And I know there's some teams out there that um, have not got out to the start that they expected. Like uh, the Baltimore Ravens, the Miami Dolphins. So there's teams out there, but it's still a lot of football left to be played. So we'll see how uh, everything plays out. All right. I think you kind of get a good sense of how these teams are going to be right now, 4 games in, but that doesn't mean nothing could change. So, um, a lot of football left. But since we're talking about football, uh, especially the NFL has announced their headliner for the Super Bowl halftime show. And they have announced that Bad Bunny will be the headliner of this season's Super Bowl halftime show. Um, a lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it. For whatever reasons, you got some people, you know, who don't like the decision would go to say, well, his songs is not in English, it's in Spanish. Uh, they don't know who he is, they don't listen to his music. Um, they suggested, oh, maybe Morgan Wallen be a better fit. Jelly Roll would be a better fit. Um, and there's some other reasons behind that as well. Why they don't. I know he made some comments about not touring the United States because of ICE and stuff like that. Some people like it. Some people uh, are a fan of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist in the world. He's also an actor. You'll see him in Happy Gilmore too. And he's also a part-time pro wrestler. Y'all seen him in WWE. Um, the last time I seen him in WWE, he was going against Damian Priest. The match, what was that event called? I forgot, but it was in Puerto Rico, and it was a hardcore match. Excuse me. And he's a pretty good wrestler. He's a pretty good wrestler. So I gotta give him credit for that. You could tell um he he trained as such. It wasn't like it was a one-off match. It's kind of like how uh, Logan is it Logan Paul? Now how he goes into WWE and actually is putting in the work and you see the work paying off for him. So no, you see that. You got a lot of people that's upset about this for a lot of reasons. But let me give you my opinion on this. Okay. This is just my reaction to the news coming out and everything. Now, look, I know who Bad Bunny is. Do I listen to his music? No, I don't listen to his music. But I do know who he is. All right. When the news came out saying he was going to be the halftime performer, right? I was like, okay, that's real because I'm gonna be honest with you, it I just didn't care, you know. It could be anybody else. I mean, I'll still have the same reaction because when I watch the Super Bowl, I don't watch the Super Bowl for the halftime show. I watch the Super Bowl to watch football. That's why I watch it. Whoever's playing in that game, like we don't know right now who's going to represent the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl. We don't know that yet. The season is still early, right? But we all know the Super Bowl after the season uh in February, usually in February now. Um Even then I'm like, even with the team that I don't uh the team that I don't cheer for the most, right? My team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, you think I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl? Yeah, I'm going to watch it, right? And I watch it to hopefully get a great game, right? Something that we could talk about. Not a snooze fest, stuff like that. No, those moments that you live for the Super Bowl. That's why I watch the Super Bowl, right? And some people watch it because they got money on the game. So yeah, they're gonna pay uh very close attention to this game. So it's to me when they announced that he was gonna be the Super Bowl halftime performer, I was like, all right, cool, right? And you got a lot of people that's talking about this. And here's the thing: the NFL did his job because he made some comments, and then you go and say he's gonna be the headliner for the Super Bowl. Now, we don't know if that was it was the first choice or not. We don't know that. It probably was other artists that they probably have asked and they like, nah, we don't want to do it. All right, cool. We don't know that. But for the people that is upset, right, that he is gonna be the headliner for the Super Bowl halftime show because his song is not in Spanish. People saying that, oh, well, he's not an American. Well, he's Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico, which is part of America. All right. I would say this to you, right? You don't have to watch the halftime show. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, it's just that simple. Like we at a point where we start to complain about every single thing, and I'm like, you don't have to actually watch it. I mean, you could just turn the channel. You could go mingle with your friends and family because that's the one thing I like about the Super Bowl. It's kind of like I guess you could say like a small reunion, a small family gathering, or just a small gathering, period. You have a Super Bowl party, everybody brings something so everybody can eat on. You got your drinks going and things like that, and you're just enjoying each other while watching, hopefully, a great game. Excuse me, a great game. So if if you don't like the artist, you don't like the genre of music, whatever, you don't have to actually watch it. There would I mean, here's and the thing about it is I don't care if it's Bruno Mars. And now I'm just talking about me personally. I don't care if it's Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay, Aerosmith, um, the list goes on, right? Whoever they decide, cool. Would I watch it? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my gosh, they got this person performing. Why they don't have this person performing? I watch the Super Bowl to watch football. That's what I care about the most. Okay. That's what Here's the thing. If they don't have an artist to perform for the Super Bowl, I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with that. And I understand the NFL. If you're a fan of football, especially in the NFL, they're looking to go global, right? You look at the games so far this season. The Chiefs and the Chargers played in Brazil. We just had the Steelers and the Vikings play in Dublin. And who's I forgot who's playing in London. I forgot the teams that's playing in London. Doggone it. I forgot, but they're gonna have a game in London. So they're trying to globalize the NFL, right? We know in the United States of America, football is number one, right? Whether it's high school, college, or football, football is number one. Yeah, high school, college, or the NFL. I'm sorry, it's number one. But outside of that, it's not. It's not as big of a this not big of a sport compared to soccer on a global scale, track and field, baseball, basketball. So they're trying to globalize the game, which I see. I mean, Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist in the world, right? And you got some people that want certain people to perform. And look, that's your opinion. If you feel like they should perform at the halftime show, cool. If they have been asked to do it and they turned it down, then what would your response be? We don't know all the ins and outs. We just know who's going to headline the Super Bowl. And here's the thing. Again, if it was Morgan Wallen, congratulations. I don't listen to him. That's just me. Uh, and would I probably watch just to see? Probably, probably. That's just how I am. Now, there was a name it was floating around. You go on social media, people are, how everybody has an opinion. Sometimes their takes is just crazy. But some people was throwing out names like Kid Rock. That would not be a great choice. Sorry, no. Um, but there was a name that was going around. And I said, you know what? If this artist was headlining the Super Bowl, I would definitely sit down and watch. Um, and like again, I would watch Bad Bunny, right? Because sometimes you want to see what the hype is all about. Now I've seen him outside of music. I know he's the most streamed artist in the world. I know that. Let me see what all this hype is about. Okay. Since this is already set in motion, like right now, he's already headlining. Let's think about the next Super Bowl. All right, after this one. I wouldn't mind seeing if he agrees. We gotta say it, if he agrees. I wouldn't I would be excited to see Jelly Roll as the halftime performer. I would like to see that. All right. Now here's the thing. With the halftime shows, sometimes you don't know what to expect. It could be some surprise elements in there, right? Uh, like for instance, Katy Perry brought out Missy Elliott. Cool. That was a great moment, right? You had, excuse me, Coldplay. Coldplay is it Coldplay? Coldplay, when they headlined this halftime show, they threw not one but two curveballs in there, and they didn't see it coming. They brought out Bruno Mars, who previously headlined the Super Bowl halftime show, and then also brought out Beyonce, who also headlined a Super Bowl halftime show. Nobody saw that coming. So a lot of times, and you gotta think, these artists like to collaborate with one another. We don't know what Bad Bunny is gonna do. We don't know what he's gonna do. So that's that. But I would like to see, um, personally, I would definitely like to see Jelly Roll headline that halftime show if he accepts. If he accepts it. If he turns it down, that's his right. Nobody should get mad at that. You know, every artist don't have to do the Super Bowl halftime show. You know, we know it's a big stage. It's a big stage, and you know, some want to do it, some don't want to do it. It's all good though. It's all good though. But that name, when I started hearing about these names, right? People was floating on TikTok and say social media. I don't know how it became a Bad Bunny versus Morgan Wallen thing. People made that. I don't know why they did that. But Jelly Roll was the when somebody mentioned Jelly Roll, I was like, I would absolutely watch him for the halftime show. Like I remember when Dr. Dre was headlining, I sat there and watched it. I remember just last season with Kendrick Lamar, right? Um, you had now to me the greatest halftime performance of all time was Prince. His halftime performance, I think, is the greatest of all time. Just my opinion. I know y'all got y'all favorites. Don't get mad at my opinion, okay? I said Prince, okay? Uh, but I think Jelly Roll would do great. Like I think Bad Bunny would do great. I'm not going to judge it because I never heard his songs. Like I again, outside of music, I've seen him. I know he's the most streamed artist in the world. And Morgan Wallen, he's one of the top streaming artists in the world as well, right? Excuse me. But I don't know. I think Jelly Roll it would be a great fit. Just me personally, I think Jelly Roll would be a great fit for uh, the next Super Bowl after this one. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see, right? Um, we had Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. They headline, weekend headline. Um, obviously Michael Jackson headline the Super Bowl, Aerosmith. You know, so you had artists from different genres that was able to headline the Super Bowl, and I think that's cool. So you know, let's see what's next. You know what I mean? We got Bad Bunny this year at the next Super Bowl. I'm suggesting Jelly Roll. That's my suggestion. Have Jelly Roll be the headliner. And again, like I said, you don't know. You know, you want to put on a great show when you're on this stage. All right. So we'll see on that. But overall, whoever they decide, congratulations to them for being picked. It's not gonna even if I'm not a fan of yours or I don't really listen to your music like that, I'm still gonna watch the Super Bowl because I'm watching the Super Bowl because of the game. You know, that's why I'm watching it. So whoever they select, so be it. It's not gonna stop me from watching the game. Because again, I'm a sports fan. I'm gonna watch it. If if it's just an artist that is like, nah, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'll, you know, I'll go talk to whoever. I'm not, do something else during that time. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, they got this person as an artist. Why did they do that? Why didn't you get this person? So be it. It's the Super Bowl. That's the thing about it. We're more concerned about who's performing rather than the teams that's going to be there. I get it. Not a lot of people are football fans. I understand. You watch it just to see the halftime show. Then after that's over, you're probably going doing something else. Probably not even paying attention to the game. So that's that. I just think that uh well, for me, I don't care who's performing. If they give as long as they give a great performance, you know, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. It's just that simple. I don't see the uproar in it. I mean, Yeah, you might have your artist that you like, hey, this is what I want to see. But guess what? The owners are thinking about money. They thinking about money, right? That's what they're thinking about, money. So, uh, again, I really don't care who's the headliner for the Super Bowl. Um, I'm more concerned of the actual game, and hopefully it's a great game. And I also pray that my team makes it to the Super Bowl, right? Like every fan of any NFL team, you hope that your team is able to make it to the Super Bowl, right? And win the Super Bowl, not just be there, but win the Super Bowl. That's why, I go in with the mindset of if they performing, cool. Cool. Congratulations to them. I'm there to watch the game. So it's even like on Thanksgiving, right? The Thanksgiving games when they have these artists come and perform at the halftime. I don't really watch the halftime show. I'm there to watch football, right? Even if again, like I said, if they don't have a performer at halftime, so what? I'm there to watch football. Now it might be an artist that you really like. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they got this artist. I'm gonna watch him. That's my favorite artist. Cool. If it's not an artist that you really listen to like that, you don't really care too much for, okay, just go get you a hot dog or something. So that's all I'm saying. This all this talking, and guess what? You're doing the job that the NFL wants you to do is to talk about it. The Super Bowl ain't until February. It's October. We just got into October. All right. We just got into October and we're talking about this. 4 weeks into the season, going to the fifth week of the season, right? Going to week 5 of the season, and this is what they're talking about. So they already put it in your head, like whether you like the person or not, you're probably going to watch it, and you already have your mind made up about that particular artist. So as long as they get the viewerships, as long as they get this merchandise sales and all that stuff going up, the owners are happy. The owners are happy. That's all I got to say. All right, y'all. Again, thanks for uh tuning in with me tonight. This was, hey man, I'm really enjoying this. Make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, you can catch the episodes on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Tell your friends and family about the platform. And any suggestions why I should drink, uh, hit the comments, man. If we have it available here in my hometown, I'll go check it out. Uh, so I'll definitely do that. All right. Until next time, I'm Darius from Drinking Up the Dark podcast. We out. Peace.